Hey Halloweenies! Welcome back to 31 Days of Horror with the Jumbo Shangos and the Randy Mole movie show. And today I'm on my own. I am the Randy Mole and I have just watched the Nightingale, Jennifer Kent's follow-up to the Babadook, and I've just watched it on Netflix. So let me synopsisize this film for you. So the Nightingale is about it's set in Tasmania in 1825. It wasn't called Tasmania back then, and it's about British colonial. The colonial times, and there is a girl, and she's an Irish convict. Her name is Claire. She has a husband. She's his husband. She has a baby, and she is a convict that she's working for the soldiers. I can't think what the word is I'm looking for. This group, and she's due her freedom, and she asks her freedom. She goes to the colonel, played by, you know him, Sam Claflin, you'll recognise him. She goes to him to ask for freedom. And let's just say he takes everything from her. He literally takes everything from her in a very, very brutal way. It has quite a horrific opening, this film. There's a candle on me. Just realised that. Look at that. It's flicking in my face. It has a very horrific opening, and then this sets out for what effectively becomes a revenge movie. She then spends the rest of the film trying to track him down to get revenge on the fact that she was brutalised, raped, and had her whole life destroyed by him. Now, she does this with the help of, she goes out on her own. She's sort of recommended not to because they're changing camps, they're moving to a different area. So she kind of enlists the help of a local Aborigine tracker. His name's Billy, played by, here we go, Bakoli Ganumba. Apologies if I cannot say these names correctly. You know what I'm like for pronunciation at the best of times. And he sets out to help her track him down. Now, this is Jennifer Kent's follow-up to the Babadook. Now, the Babadook is an amazing film, and I think one of the greatest debut films from a director. It is so good. There's a horror channel, Grumpy Andrew, House of Horror. He did a video a long time back, sort of discussing about why it is a horror film, because there seems to be a bit where people suddenly start saying horror films, films like the Babadook and It Follows weren't actually horror films, which is barking mad. Now, this is a follow-up to the Babadook, but this is definitely not the same wheelhouse of horror. This is not a ghosty, scary, jump scare horror. This is not what's lurking around the corner horror. This is real life horrific acts, get under your skin, relentless movie. It is a thriller that is so extreme. You'd have to go, this is horrific. This is one of the most horrific films I've watched in a very long time. But none of it is done in an exploitative way. And that is sort of what's really interesting about it. For a film that is full of rape and death and effectively torture of the soul, it's not exploitative. You don't, the rape scenes and the sexual assaults have not got the hint of the titillation about them. There is nothing to enjoy about any of the death scenes in this. It's not and you don't actually even see particularly that much gore. It's the way that the acting portrays it. And what's her name? The priest Claire, Aisling Franchosi. She's from some British TV shows. I recognise her from the drama. Is it The Fall? Something like that. She is amazing. I cannot, she should get the Oscar. she should get the Oscar for her role as Claire, the Nightingale. She's called the Nightingale because she sings, and the singing comes in every now and again. She's just like she sings at different times in the film, and she has such a beautiful voice, and it kind of breaks from the horrific acts and makes you realise that there is still something good in this world. Now, what did I like about it? The acting for above everything else in this film carries it. It is so good, the acting. The officer, Simon Claflin, who plays the officer that she's tracking down, oh, he's such a bastard. He is. You despise this man. You know, sometimes you get those characters that are they're so dislikable because they are written to be. You know, you hear about like people watching like EastEnders and they don't like the baddie because they just don't like them, and then people see them in the street and they're like mean to them. Now this is, if I saw this guy in the street, they'd be like, "You're horrible. He is so unlikable because everything he does is evil. It's evil." But he has a reason for doing it. You kind of follow this. You know he is a product of his time. You know he has a job to do. But my God, he is evil. Claire is amazing. She is the person that you are rooting for. You sympathise with her, and you want her to get the outcome that she deserves. This is not like I Spit on Your Grave. It's not like Revenge from the other year. It is not like you're like, go on. This is like under the skin, horrific. It's so hard to just gotta watch it to kind of get what I mean. And Billy. Now Billy for me, her guide. He again, give him an Oscar. He plays that role with such anger about what's going on into his country, into his world, but also with a like dry humour that in many ways made him my guide. He was the man. He was the one that he was guiding her, but he was also guiding me through the story. And I just thought he lit up the screen. What those two together, what a combination! And what starts off as an employee like guide relationship behind him, kind of predictably starts to become a friendship. A friendship forged from two different worlds that are both very suspicious of each other, that don't necessarily like each other from a cultural point of view, and you can see it doesn't quickly change. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden we're friends now, look at this, aha. It actually, because of the journey they go on together and because of the acts that happen to them, you see those that friendship forming, and you believe as it goes towards the end. And you think you know what's coming at the end. It's not quite what you think's coming at the end either. What a movie. The direction, Jennifer Kent again hits it out the park. It has an aspect ratio and a colour palette that makes this film timeless. Again, it looks like it should be an Oscar movie. It won't be an Oscar movie. You know, they don't like anything that's too out there. But wow, I like the fact that this is one of the most shocking films I've seen for a long time, but none of it is played for shock value. It has no shock value to it at all. It doesn't have those scenes that make you go, ah! Because it wants to make you shocked. It is horrific and shocking because that's the story it's telling. Now, what didn't I like? Okay, what didn't I like about it? This is a long film. It's over 2 hours, and it could do with losing some of its time. It would have been a better movie for being a little bit shorter. It has these dream sequences in it, a bit like the dream sequences from the Babadook, that are particularly grisly, nasty. They wear a little bit thin. You know that they're the only bits that feel not so authentic to me. You could get away with a couple of them, but they sort of, you could have taken them out and actually, you know when you're watching it, you're like, oh, we're in a dream sequence here. She's going to wake up soon. You could have cut the time out by taking some of them out. I think the the white man destroying the world, you know, element of it is a little bit on the nose at points, although, you know, that is the story it is telling, but it is a little bit on the nose sometimes, so I'm kind of like, okay, you could be a bit more subtle about some of this, but it doesn't really detract from the film as a whole. And, you know, and to be honest, the way that Claire's view of the Aboriginal people and of why they're out there changes over the running course of 2 hours is kind of like how you'd hope that the whole world would have changed now to see people just better. I really like this film. I really like this film. It is tough. It is a tough watch. It is not sit around, eat popcorn and enjoy it kind of movie. It is a tough watch. It is not what I thought it was going to be at all. I thought it was going to be kind of like a highbrow horror movie, and it was not that. It was very much an Oscar big cinematic film. So for that reason, I'm going to give it 4 big fat pumpkins. Jennifer Kent, if this is movie number 2, what have we got coming for movie number 3? Because she's setting herself up to be the director of our time. Cool. Anyway, I'll see you soon. I'm going to go and find some evil colonels and take revenge on them for everything they've done to this world. See you later.